Hey guys, hello. I am so happy that you are here and that you found this YouTube video. So self-love lesson 4, I'm going to keep these short and easy and quick so that you can watch them and hopefully learn from them and implement them into your life. But self-love lesson 4, let go of your past, get out of the future, and be fully present. I always say, every time I go over these self-love lessons, I'm like, oh my gosh, this one is my favorite. But I think this one is my favorite, which I think I will say that with every self-love lesson. All right, so self-love lesson 4, letting go of your past. So are there stories that you tell yourself from your past that you are still holding on to? Stories of maybe things that you've done in your past and you think that means that's who you are forever. Relationships that you had in the past, are you still holding on to those? Are you still trying to think too far into the future, like trying to plan out your future? Are you being fully present? Are you living in the past, letting the past create your stories? Are you creating stories for yourself that haven't even happened? Or are you living in the present? Which it's actually hard to be fully present because you're living in the here and the now. It's hard to just sit. Like right now, I'm making my very first YouTube video, right? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I should be thinking like about this YouTube video, but my mind races. I'm thinking about what I have to do tomorrow, like a crazy day tomorrow, a busy weekend, like going to Florida next week, all of those things. It's hard to just be in the now, in the moment, and be fully present. So I'm going to practice being fully present. After all, this is going to be my first YouTube video ever. All of the other self-love lives are in my VIP group, which I'll post a link for that so you don't miss out on the first 3 over on Facebook. But anyways, all right, so letting go of your past. So I have a story from myself and a story from actually a classmate. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. It's allergy season right now. It's crazy. Hold. Okay. Is it gone? Okay, it's gone. Okay, a couple stories that I kind of hold on to from the past that I feel like I still used to think that like insecurities like I have, that I am still that person. So I got in a car accident. I don't even remember how old I was. I should have asked my mom, but I hit my head on the dashboard. I think we got rear-ended. I hit my head on the front dashboard, and then slowly after that I started getting this divot, which is what the doctors call it, a divot in my forehead. Okay, so like a dent in my forehead. It didn't happen overnight. I wasn't born with this. It slowly started getting deeper and deeper, and my mom was like, where is this coming from? So I remember we kind of lined up all of these school pictures from after the accident, and you could literally see my forehead transforming every year from every school picture. Anyways, I got made fun of a lot in high school, or so I thought. People were talking about it all the time in high school. I assumed I was the girl with the dent in her forehead. My brother made fun of me a lot, like a lot of funny jokes, because that's what older brothers do. And this was like, high school was 2007 is when I graduated. I kept carrying on into college, into when I moved to Charlotte back in 2013, that I'm the girl with the dent in the forehead. Like everybody is going to see the dent. Everyone's going to think about me like, oh yeah, that girl with the dent. Oh, the girl that got in the accident. Like truly thought that that's who I was for the longest time. And then I remember the first job I got in Charlotte, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start over new. I'm not the girl with the dent in her forehead. So I'd wear my bangs pulled back, which that's why I have bangs. And that's why I always wear a hat, is to cover up my forehead. But I was like, I'm going to be a new, like, who cares if anybody even notices my forehead? I'm in a new city. Like, I'm starting over new. So that's what I did. 5 a.m., no makeup, braided my bangs back. And I thought, oh my gosh, nobody is treating me any differently. Like, nobody's staring at me. Everyone's still saying good morning. Everyone's still saying, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Look at your smile. You're adorable. Like, I even remember being like, do any of these people see my forehead? Like, hello, I'm the girl with the dent. Like, hello. So that was like something that I was not letting go of in the past, was being made fun of and all of those things about my forehead. Now that I do live makeup videos, I pull my hair all the way back without my bangs sometimes. When I tell this story on my live videos, girls from high school are like, oh my gosh, I never even noticed that about your forehead. So I was literally creating stories in my mind that's who everyone thought of me as, was the girl with the dent. So that took me a long time to kind of let go of that story. And then I have another story, or just even stories of crazy stuff that I did in college. Like, that was just a phase of life. That is not who I am today. So if you had a crazy year, or if you've done, I don't know, drugs, or maybe were an addict, or any of those things, like, that doesn't define who you are today. Like, yeah, I think it's important to tell your story about your struggles and the things that you've been through, but there's a time to kind of let go of the past. Don't let it define who you are. All of the bad things that you've done or things that you regret does not define who you are today, right? And we're working on being fully present. We're not thinking about all the things that we've done in the past, or like, oh, shoulda, woulda, couldas. Being fully present. We're not thinking about what we have going on this weekend, right? We're trying to be fully present every single day. It is hard, but that's what these self-love lessons are for, is to work on these things and being aware of when we're in the past, being aware of when we're way too far into the future, and kind of slowing down and just trying to be fully present, being grateful for the things that we have around us, family that's still alive. I don't know, when the sun is shining and you hear the birds, which are like my favorite things, like just being present in the moment of, like, I don't know, just being grateful, right? And then, of course, this is self-love, which we'll get to that. But anyways, my friend shared her story of the past. Basically, she, every time she would get sick, because she had, let's see, where are my notes? She had asthma and, was it rosacea or eczema? I think eczema. Where is it in my notes? Anyway, so she felt like every time she was sick, her mom would show her love, right? So long story short, she thought sick equaled love. When I'm sick, I get love. When I'm sick, I get love. And her mom was actually a single mom working full time. She was a nighttime nurse. My friend was eczema and a lot of tummy aches. There we go. And asthma. Anyway, so that was her story that she was telling, that she was the sick girl. She was always sick. Oh, I'm the girl with asthma. I'm the girl with eczema. Like, that was her story, that she was always sick. And she thought that talking about it meant that she would receive love, right? And we all want to feel love or compassion, or like people to be empathetic towards us. So that was her story. So she said that she always craved more of that love. Like I said, her mom was a single parent. She was a middle child. And she was saying that you don't know what you don't know. So she didn't realize that that's what she was doing, that was her pattern that she was doing for a really, really long time. And then she said, okay, so one day I knew, it was like the lights came on for the first time. I realized what I was panning out and how much it was holding me and my relationships back. But not to mention causing physical pain in the process. So super expensive pattern, she said, to have fallen into medical bills, antibiotics, all of those things, with always being sick, which she was sick. But I knew that if I wanted to experience deep love with myself and others, I needed to let go of this limiting belief that was not serving me, my growth, or my evolution. But it wasn't as easy as clicking my fingers and being done with it for good. No, sir, she said. I completely wrapped my identity around this story, that I was the girl with eczema and asthma. I was the girl with health and skin problems. She got special treatment at school and dance and all of those things. Like, that was her identity. So, like all the self-love lessons that we've done so far, you have to wholeheartedly, which we talked about, wholeheartedly, with all of your heart, with your entire heart and your soul, that you want to let this belief go. So with my forehead and everybody, oh, I'm the girl with the dent in her head. Like, I had to wholeheartedly believe and let that go, that was not who I am. I'm not the girl with the dent in the forehead, right? I'm the girl with the beautiful smile. That's my new identity, is the girl, the kindness in my heart and the smile with the dimples. Like, I've created that new identity about myself, and I had to wholeheartedly get rid of the dent with the forehead, even though I still tell that story all the time. But that is not who I think of myself anymore, which I truly used to always think. I'm the girl with the messed up forehead. I'm the girl with the ugly forehead, like all of those things. Okay, so once you wholeheartedly decide to let this limiting belief go, and you're aware of it every time you let it play out. So every time I would start thinking that somebody was looking at my forehead, oh my gosh, they're staring at me, I had to like pause and kind of let it go and remind myself, whoa, Kayla, like, this is not your story anymore. You are not the girl with the ugly forehead, like the dent. This is not your story that you do not want to live by this story anymore. Like, I had to pause and say that to myself. So it takes time and awareness, same with all the other self-love lessons. But the more you practice, like, catching it, right, the easier it gets. So the more I would catch myself assuming people were staring at my dent. It was, oh, maybe they're looking at my smile. Maybe they're looking at my hazel eyes. Like, maybe they're looking at the dimple. Like, maybe they're looking at my skin, like my freckles. I had to stop and pause and be like, okay, they're not looking at my forehead. They're looking at something else positive about myself, right? So I had to change it. And it doesn't happen overnight. This is years. These self-love lessons are years and years and years and years and years. I truly believe that when you let go of old stories and decide you no longer want them to be a part of your current reality, you decide you can create whatever your heart desires, right? So I gave myself that blank canvas. What do I want? What do I want my story to be? The smile, the dimples, right? The kindness in my heart, right? That's my story. And I had the blank canvas, and that's yours, right? You can paint whatever you want on this canvas. Who is it that you want to be? What is your story? All right, here's the inspo action, and then we are done. Do you have any stories from your past that you keep telling yourself? Maybe it's something to do with your health, like my friend with her asthma and her eczema. Maybe you have a money story that you picked up from your parents, which I was thinking about that, like, because I'm very cheap and stingy with my money. So I'm still kind of trying to think if there's a story there with my money issues. Maybe it's about your parents' divorce. Like, maybe you're blaming, or, oh, because my parents got divorced, I am XYZ. Like, oh, because my mom wasn't a part, which my mom is a huge part of my life, but I'm actually thinking of a friend, like, oh, because my mom isn't a part of my life, that's why I am X, Y, and Z, right? So kind of not really blaming, but like kind of blaming, like, who you are because your parents got a divorce, or because you have money issues because of how you grew up. You're X, Y, and Z because of your health, like your eczema and your asthma, like my friend. I'm who I am because, oh, I have a dent in my forehead, so I'm less of a human being. So write down all of these stories you're still letting play out in your life right now. Write out all the stories from your past that you keep telling yourself. And it can feel challenging to let go of the stories we have built our identities around, especially if you've built your identity around it for decades. It's going to be challenging. But you already know in your heart that they are no longer serving you. And in order for you to experience deep love with yourself and others, you have to open wide and let them go. That creates space for new stories and new truths. So if I'm holding on to my forehead story, how can I create a new story or create space for my smile and my dimples and all the other things that I love about myself when I'm just focusing on this, right? Let's see, create space. In order for you to experience overflowing self-love, you must aim to live without stories of your past, without stories from the past and future, and instead reside in the present moment. This is where the magic happens. I'm like getting goosebumps. Your mean girl, which I talk about all the time on my blog, your mean girl will not want you to live in the present because she cannot exist there. Our mean girl does not exist in the present. So she'll do whatever she can to keep you in the past or the future, but do not let her win. Be in the here and the now, the only moment that truly exists. The only moment that truly exists is the here and the now. And every time I even think about being in the present moment, or every time I even pause just and look at my surroundings, like I just get goosebumps, like, and I get excited. Like to me, it feels good. Like I'm sitting here, this is going to be my first YouTube video. Like I'm just looking around, looking outside at the trees and the sun, at my messy office that, my starter office, because I started, my own online business over a year ago, just kind of looking around. And to me, it's exciting pausing and thinking about your life. And for me, just that I get to have this platform to uplift and empower y'all, that I'm even doing these videos, and I started my own blog, to me, it's just so exciting. So I hope that you guys put this inspo action into place. Practice these self-love lessons. Maybe there's one or the other that speaks more to you. Like maybe you live in the past a lot, so this would be a self-love lesson that you could work on daily, because every time that mean girl comes up, right, talks about the forehead, it's my smile, my dimples, my eyes, my heart, my humor, all those things are the things that I am creating the canvas of myself, not my forehead. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the blog. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure, or subscribing to YouTube as well. I'll put all of the links in the description, but thank you guys so much. And I can't wait to share self-love lesson 5 with y'all. Bye guys.